I was at my desk, enjoying a mid-morning coffee my assistant brought, though it was sweetened with artificial sugar. I threatened to switch to black tea if she didn't make a change. My mind was preoccupied with a pressing copyright issue, but the federal government's usual sluggishness was stalling progress. Their slow pace was frustrating, making everything harder. Federal workers seemed to dodge responsibility unless explicitly told what to do. I wondered how many people handled a document before anything happened. I was stuck, unable to advance on my next project and facing potential financial losses if I had to discard items. The rise of liberal concerns had turned simple matters into complex ones, even altering job titles. I felt too old for this mess. Liam Gallagher entered my office and said, "A young lady is here to see you." She didn't give her name but handed me a photo. As I looked at it, dread set in. It was a picture of Emma, my ex-wife, and me from our wedding day, 18 years ago. That photo brought back painful memories of betrayal and heartache. People assumed I was back to mend old wounds, and they weren't wrong. Back then, I didn't understand money or power, but I had changed. Ask her if she's Aiden or Olivia Smith, I told Liam, handing her a USB drive and a Ziploc bag. If she is, show her the video on this. If she wants a copy, give her everything but get the original back to me. Come back afterward with any questions. At 42, I had embraced single life. My short marriage to Emma had destroyed my trust, and now it had to be earned. I was 6 feet 4 inches, 200 pounds, and worked out for 2 hours daily. My hair was graying, but I still attracted attention. Casual relationships were fine, but marriage and love weren't for me. An hour later, Liam returned, leaving the door open. She said the young lady had many questions and wasn't leaving without answers. Olivia's serious demeanor made it clear she was determined. With her emerald eyes fixed on me, she said, "Olivia?" I asked why she was shocked, and Olivia explained, "We've been deceived all our lives. If my heart's right, you've been lied to too." Olivia was one of identical twins. The video on the USB included her mother's last words to me before our first divorce hearing. I learned about the twins through friends and wasn't informed about the pregnancy. The drive detailed the consequences of contacting them, including threats from her CIA-linked father, who got me fired from the FBI with false charges. Emma had left me for my former best friend, who, as far as I knew, was their real father. How did she find me and why come to me? I asked. Liam explained Olivia found an old photo with my name, Googled me, and also discovered the marriage certificate and divorce papers. Olivia tracked me down via Facebook and other searches. She's looking for a bone marrow match for her twin sister, Liam said. Why come to me? I replied. Olivia's mother was with her father long before I knew her, and her father ensured it. Olivia suspected something and got a DNA test during the bone marrow test. Mr. Smith isn't their biological father. Liam smiled through my tears. If Olivia was right, it meant my ex had lied to me all these years. I wondered if I could be their father. I recognized she was related to you as soon as I saw her, Liam said. She has your look. Send the USB info to my publishers, I instructed. Release it anonymously and stress it must be made public quickly. Then arrange a quick DNA test. If I'm their father, I need proof before confronting their mother. If it's true, I need a lawyer for my parental rights. Clear my schedule. I need to get to Aiden's hospital ASAP. Find Olivia, I added. Liam called Olivia in. The moment I saw her, I knew. She looked just like my younger sister at 16. I was overwhelmed with emotion, and Olivia and I both cried. Liam took some pictures and left us alone. Olivia, you have a blood test appointment at 1, Liam said when she returned. It's rushed and charged to the corporate card. I've also set up a meeting with your sister Sophia at Kuntal's at 3 with a private table. Sophia will handle her kids and knows you have important family news. I watched Olivia approach, feeling emotional and uncertain. I hugged her tightly as Liam closed the door. The possibility of being a father was hard to grasp. Olivia seemed to share my disbelief as we left my office. We took small steps to figure things out and headed out for a late lunch. I learned Olivia had driven all day and rested at a station. I was furious but kept my reaction in check, realizing I might be overreacting like a protective father. The photo reminded me of something I would have done at Olivia's age. When we arrived at Cantel's, I noticed Barb's car. Olivia asked, I know we're meeting your sister, but why did Liam set this up without talking to me first? I replied, you'll understand once you see what Liam and I saw when we first met you. It'll explain why we believe you and Aiden are my daughters and why I was stunned when the test came back positive. Can I call you Dad? Olivia asked. I laughed and smiled. I'd love that. Cantel's was a step up from Red Lobster, known for its excellent reputation. The owner and hostess led us to our private booth, and I ordered a bottle of champagne and extra tissues. Sophia had her back to us, so I asked Olivia to wait while I approached. Hi, sis. Thanks for meeting me, I said. Sophia looked up and said, you look happy. What's going on? I introduced Olivia. Sophia, this is Emma's daughter, Olivia. Sophia turned, stunned to see a younger version of herself. Olivia and Sophia shared similar features. Long brunette hair, high cheekbones, small ears, light blue eyes, and warm smiles. Oh my God, Sophia exclaimed. Ethan, you should have warned me. This is unbelievable. How long have you known? About 5 hours, Olivia said emotionally. I surprised him at his office. Liam and Dad knew immediately. Seeing you, I understand why. The server brought tissues, sensing our need for privacy. Sophia, through tears, said 3 more people would join us, prompting the hostess to move us to a larger table. Sophia called her husband and our parents, saying it was a family emergency. Sophia's husband and my parents arrived, and I laughed hearing my dad's loud voice. There better be a good reason for this, he said. Sophia and I stood to greet them. Mom, Dad, Mia, meet Emma's daughter, Olivia Smith, Sophia said proudly. My mother immediately recognized the resemblance and smiled with pride, thrilled to finally have the granddaughter she always wanted. My dad was speechless at first, but eventually said, I see it, but it's hard to believe. Mom sat beside Olivia, holding her hand tightly, too emotional to speak. My dad ordered 2 more bottles of champagne, clearly proud. After refilling our glasses, I stood up with mine. I need to explain, I said, as Olivia started recording with my phone. I recounted how we met and what had happened. My dad then stood up. Olivia, we don't need a DNA test to confirm what we already know. Welcome to our family. You have 2 more aunts to meet soon. Promise us you'll always consider this family your home. Olivia took the phone and spoke. I came seeking the truth, not knowing what I'd find. Today has changed everything for Dad and me. Meeting Aunt Barb showed me what unconditional love is. My twin sister Aiden will feel the same. As everyone became emotional, even my father, who rarely cried, had tears in his eyes. My mom held up 2 fingers, crying louder. I recorded the joyful moment before stopping the video. Olivia added her and Aiden's contact info to my phone and showed me the video she sent to Aiden. Her message read, if what we think is true, the DNA test will confirm. Watch the 6 o'clock news. Love, your twin. My mom asked if she was still in disbelief. Olivia showed her photos of Aiden and herself. Mom demanded copies for her laptop and displayed them on the full screen. Olivia then turned off her phone, which made me realize no one knew where she was. My phone rang. It was Aiden. I walked away to answer it. My dad noticed me tearing up and looked at me curiously. Olivia mouthed, it's my sister. My dad nodded in understanding. Hello, this is Aiden, she said. After seeing the video, I had to call. Mom won't be home until at least 7 because she's stopping at the police station for an update on Olivia. I'm pretending to know nothing. The police were here earlier and left their card. Any ideas on what I should do? Get him to watch the 6 o'clock news and pay attention to what's revealed about me. Tell him you'll talk when your parents aren't around and show him the video. Give him my number and ask him to text first before calling. He'll understand after watching the news, I replied. Once we have the DNA proof, Olivia and I might bring the whole family. What do you mean? Aiden asked. After explaining Olivia's actions, the family will spread the word. I don't know how many will come, but those who can, will, I explained. Why? She asked. Family, I said. In the Patterson family, blood is thicker than water. If I'm not a match, someone else might be. Just like that? Aiden asked, doubtful. No doubt you'll see, I chuckled. We were strangers, after all. We talked a bit more before saying goodbye, and Olivia left with relieved sobs. I ordered dinner and explained to my family why Olivia was here. Immediately, cell phones buzzed as everyone spread the word and searched for potential matches. My mother took charge of organizing everything. "How did you get here?" my father asked Olivia. She laughed. "I drove my old 1994 Voyager van. It's practically a rent-a-wreck. Son, take that van to my dealership in the morning. She's not driving back in that." "It's a miracle she made it here," my dad said firmly. "Back at your age, you had as much sense as she does. She's determined. What are you planning to give her?" I asked. "She can pick one out," he replied with a wink. "If it were up to me, it'd be a 4x4. "I love the outdoors," Olivia said. My dad grinned. We all enjoyed the outdoors, fishing, camping, or hunting, weather permitting. He reminisced about the summer I learned to water ski barefoot, sharing stories as if he were holding court. Both my parents insisted Olivia stay with them for the night, saying it wouldn't look right for us to be alone. After dinner, Dad drove them to Olivia's van and then took it home. Mom was thrilled, already planning to spoil her new granddaughter. Dad waited up until 1 a.m. for them to return. Around 10 p.m., the police investigator called me. It had taken him 2 hours to complete my background check. The media was buzzing with questions about the information I released. We discussed the situation and related problems. The 3 Generations video answered many of his questions. I told him we were rushing DNA tests to confirm our relationship and that Olivia was with my parents. Once confirmed, we'd see if I could be a match for Aiden. I asked him to buy us some time and promised to update him on our progress. Aiden later told me he reported back to her about our discussion. I was confronting my past with a new perspective. This time, I wouldn't be intimidated by my ex-wife's family. I had the media, courts, and truth on my side. I wasn't seeking revenge, just justice. I was ready to take on my ex, her husband, and the federal government. The next morning, I was in my office, ensuring schedule changes wouldn't impact me and setting tasks for Liam while I was gone. Liam kept a close eye on the email accounts, almost like a worried mother, constantly questioning me about my day. Honestly, I never got tired of looking at Liam Gallagher. She must have been every teenage boy's dream. Her naturally styled brown hair highlighted her soft features, and her piercing emerald eyes and full lips were still captivating. As a single man, I admired her but was grateful she never caught me. Finally, Liam received the DNA test results, printed them, and exclaimed, "It's confirmed. You are her father." She immediately called the lab to send the information to Aiden's specialist and began searching for the toughest litigation lawyer in New York. After vetting a few, she selected the best and arranged a Skype chat. The lawyer agreed to work on a percentage basis, confident the DNA proof made the case a slam dunk. We'd go after my ex-wife, her husband, and her parents for denying me parental rights. The restrictive court order against me would be overturned, exposing their deliberate actions. Even if the supposed contract on my life wasn't real, it would show their attempts to intimidate and control. The lawyer saw the case's potential before even involving the government. I told Liam to send a gray, dust-covered box from the safe to the new lawyer. It contained proof of Emma's father trying to destroy my career. It had taken years to collect this evidence. Later, I learned that the police officer had released the video, turning the story into a media frenzy about a runaway daughter finding her biological dad to save her sister's life. "Mom, it's confirmed," I said on the phone. "I'm a father twice over. Thank God. Be ready to leave tomorrow at 7 a.m. from the car lot." "Have you called your daughters?" Mom asked. We were now on the road, driving a fully loaded 2-year-old Ford Explorer to Oswego, New York. Olivia and I led the way, with my parents in a tour bus and 33 other vehicles following. My phone rang, and Olivia answered, putting it on speaker. "You're being tracked by CNN," Aiden said. "There's a tour bus with a sign saying the Roberts are coming. 1 out of 141 should be a match. We have the DNA test proving he's our father. I've got a new 2-year-old Ford Explorer." Dad said, "If it was confirmed, a lot of family would come, but I never expected this." Aiden continued, "It's given me a new hope I never imagined. I can't remember feeling this good." Dad's family spread the word, and people came out of the woodwork. I met so many relatives this morning. It will take multiple introductions to remember their names. I met first, second, and even third cousins. I'm so proud I want to change my last name to Roberts, Olivia said. I never knew families like this existed. I was so overwhelmed I almost went off the road. That's when I decided to write about this amazing experience in my next book. My daughters were still talking about Olivia's experiences when Aiden had to leave. Her mother had just entered the room. "Dad, are you okay?" Olivia asked, seeing my emotional state. "How do you expect me to feel?" I replied, "I've just discovered I have two daughters, one vibrant and full of life, the other on the verge of dying. One is so strong and independent she moved mountains without thinking, just like I would. And she wants to take my name." Olivia, emotionally overwhelmed, said, "I was so focused on saving my sister's life that I didn't consider the impact on you. I wasn't a good match because I inherited a defective gene. I've caused emotional problems that will be felt for days. Can you forgive me?" "For what? Coming into my life and turning everything upside down? No, that's what living is about. You've given everyone another person to love. You've given me a chance to be a real dad," I said, tears in my eyes. "Your grandparents adore you. Mom is so proud. Seeing her face in you means everything. You and your sister are her favorites by birthright. She's been spoiling us. We went shopping, and if she bought me an outfit, she got one for Sue, too." Olivia laughed. She said she has years of spoiling to catch up on. "That's Mom. You'll find it impossible to distance her from you." "I know, I've tried," I said. "Barb and my sisters will brag about this for weeks. This will become a family legend." We learned that Emma had severe panic attacks upon seeing the live news feed about our arrival. Aiden confronted her. "Mom, why did you hide the truth about our real dad? What gave you the right to play God? Even Dad didn't know. If Olivia hadn't found out and sought the truth, would you have let me die?" Emma had no answers, never expecting the truth to come out. Her father had always hated me and done everything to drive me away. Just then, Aiden's doctor arrived with DNA results confirming he was her biological father and a likely bone marrow match. He would be tested the next afternoon, under guard for protection. Aiden said, "My bio dad is coming with 140 others in case he's not a match. He wants to give me a fighting chance." When Emma asked why, Aiden replied, "To him and his family, blood is thicker than water. Though I'm a stranger, I am family, and family comes first." Emma watched a video of our family meeting Olivia, clearly seeing the resemblance between 3 generations. The truth was undeniable, and her husband's actions were backfiring. Then, a man appeared at Aiden's room entrance asking for Emma. When she identified herself, he handed her a large legal envelope and said, "You have been served." Emma fell to her knees, sobbing. Aiden, furious, felt no pity. "Mom, why did Grandpa put a contract on my bio-dad's life?" Aiden asked, knowing she wouldn't get an answer. Noah Martinez Smith, just out of a corporate meeting, read the legal papers served to him. The documents included a lawsuit against him and his wife for denying my legal rights and another against them for conspiring to ruin my marriage and career. It was clear I sought revenge and demanded sole custody of my daughters, claiming moral abandonment. Noah remembered when we were university roommates and football teammates. Both of us had pursued Emma, but I won her over. Noah had been the best man at our wedding. Emma's father never approved of me and persuaded Noah to pursue her. With her father's influence, I was kept busy with FBI assignments, leaving Emma and Noah alone. Eventually, they became lovers while I was undercover. Her father recorded their affair and confronted me with it when I returned. Emma, unaware she was pregnant, thought her missed periods were due to stress. Her father was delighted when I filed for divorce immediately. When the twins were born, he knew I was their father but had already had me fired with false charges. It took me 4 years to clear my name, during which I left the area in disgrace. Emma and Noah married and had 2 sons. The unedited tapes would reveal the conspiracy between Emma's father and Noah to break up my marriage. Noah was anxious about how Emma would react when the truth came out. Olivia, the group, and I arrived at our final stop around 9 p.m. after 14 hours of driving. Exhausted, we ordered a light meal to our rooms and fell asleep quickly, only to be awakened by a 5 a.m. wake-up call. Olivia and I left early for a crucial meeting with the police and an FBI representative. The rest of the group departed at 7 a.m. for the 6-hour drive to the hospital. Olivia dropped me off at the Oswego Police Department, where I met Detective James Wilson and FBI Agent Lucas Anderson. We discussed the details of my former father-in-law's questioning for over an hour and a half. I provided my lawyer's contact information and a USB stick containing all my evidence. I was placed under official protection and escorted to the hospital for a blood draw to check if I could be a bone marrow match. As I approached Aiden's private room, I overheard Olivia and Aiden talking. The hospital staff recognized me by my writing name, and I signed a book for one of the nurses. When I walked into Aiden's room, Olivia's surprise was evident. "Dad, I didn't expect you so soon," she said. Aiden, looking frail and close to the end, greeted me with a wide, hopeful smile. I reassured her, the test should be done in 30 minutes. My parents are having their bone marrow drawn now and will join us soon. If there's more than one match, the doctor plans to do a double transplant simultaneously in both arms. Aiden broke down in tears, overwhelmed by the gravity of the situation. I sat on the edge of her bed and held her until she calmed down. Olivia took a poignant photo of us both crying tears of joy and relief. Olivia then announced, "Grandma and Grandpa, come in and meet my sister," and we spent over an hour talking. Aiden's doctor entered with a smile and shared the good news. My mother and I were perfect matches for Aiden. He asked if we were ready to be checked in for surgery at 6 a.m. the following day. We both agreed. My dad whispered, "Thank God." We prayed for a miracle all the way up. Aiden then asked, "Don't you need my parents' permission?" Dr. Harris explained, "Normally, yes, but we received a court order this morning thanks to Mr. Roberts. It allows us to proceed if he or a relative is a match. The judge agreed that your mother and her husband weren't putting your needs first. I promised to cover all costs not covered by insurance." Olivia smiled. "I'm not surprised. Given what Mom and Noah did, Dad had no choice. Legally, he had no rights, so we used the courts to prevent any delay." A security guard soon informed us that we were about to be on national news. Aiden turned on CNN, which revealed my identity as the author of a popular book series worth an estimated $40 million. Olivia, Aiden, and the doctor were amazed. My parents looked at me in shock, having thought I was just a corporate financial advisor. Aiden said, "My God, Dad, I've read all your books. They're incredible." I laughed. After my former life was destroyed, I had to reinvent myself. Writing became my therapy, helping me deal with the raw truths about world situations and societal issues. That evening, I checked into the hospital with my mother. Olivia wanted to share a room with me, but due to hospital security, she couldn't. Instead, she spent the evening running between 3 different rooms. My dad called some relatives to update them on the situation. Emma and Noah arrived after work, their attitudes cold and distant. Aiden told them she was being prepped for surgery and would receive a double bone marrow transplant in the morning due to a court order. "Mom, do you know who Samuel Lee is?" Aiden asked. "He's your favorite author." When Emma said she didn't know, Aiden continued, "Samuel Lee is a pen name for Ethan Earl Roberts, my biological father." Emma and Noah turned pale, realizing their hopes that the court case would vanish were in vain. My net worth indicated that I wasn't after money but justice. Aiden explained, "Dad always believed in law and order, which made him a successful agent until his termination." Aiden added, "Dad, your father has been in FBI custody all day. You might want to check with Grandma to see if he's home." Olivia and I were discussing her upcoming confrontation with her mother when a security guard knocked and asked, "Mr. Roberts, do you know a Liam Gallagher?" I confirmed, and Liam entered the room, ready to assist. Liam had been my right hand for a decade. I'd supported her through her tumultuous divorce after discovering her ex-husband's infidelity. At 35, she was adjusting to single life but still wore her wedding diamond, a symbol of the past she hadn't quite left behind. My family and I had always adored her, and I often wondered why she hadn't found someone new. "What are you doing here?" I asked, genuinely surprised. "I'm here to do what I always do, look after you," Liam replied with a warm smile. "Dr. Harris said you'd be here for at least 3 days, and suspected you were a match. Your arm will take a week to heal enough for light activities. I've booked a private jet and a hotel using the corporate card. We're set. Olivia had texted me, Dad, FYI. She's in love with you. I raised an eyebrow, only to see Liam blushing slightly. Just then, the guard poked his head into the room. Mr. Roberts, Emma and Noah Smith want to see you. Will you allow them in? Only after they've been searched, Liam said firmly. What's your relationship with Mr. Roberts? The security officer asked. I'm his fiancé. Didn't you see my ring? Liam replied, holding up her hand. Olivia winked at me and mouthed, Told you. I laughed, feeling a surge of affection for Liam. As Emma and Noah entered, Olivia spoke up. Dad, I wouldn't trust these two for a second. They're just trying to cover their backs. You don't know the half of it. Liam began, Your dad's lawyer has video evidence showing your stepfather receiving a check from your grandfather as payment to break up your parents' marriage. If successful, he would manage your grandparents' finances for a 3% annual fee. Emma's face went pale. How do you know this is true? And who are you? Mom, she's Dad's fiancée and a master researcher, Olivia said firmly. Her name is Liam Gallagher. I trust her more than I trust you. Liam's eyes were steely as she continued, I've seen the evidence. Your father's hatred for Mr. Roberts was so intense that he didn't care about the cost or who he used to achieve his goals. I added, I've instructed my lawyer to release all relevant video and audio tapes to the FBI, including a letter from your father admitting he paid for the recordings. Your father's animosity led to actions that we are now facing. Emma turned to Noah, her eyes searching for answers. Seeing his pained expression, she understood the gravity of the situation. Is this true? She asked. Noah nodded reluctantly, his fear evident. Emma's world was collapsing, and the reality of what she had done was beginning to hit hard. I'm sorry, Emma said, her voice trembling. Ethan, I want to talk to you alone after the surgery. Right now, I need to go home and reflect. Olivia offered, I'll walk with you to your car, Mom. We need to settle some things. As they left, Emma struggled to keep her composure. Both Liam and I knew she was in for a difficult night. Noah, looking defeated and frightened, said, Ethan, I never imagined it would come to this. I thought if we had met by chance, I could have avoided this reality. It's best I leave now and say no more. He departed, leaving us in a somber silence. I looked at Liam, and for the first time, I allowed myself to fully appreciate her presence. The affection in her eyes was undeniable, and I wondered if she felt the same way about me as I did about her. Had I been living too much in the past, too afraid to embrace what was right in front of me? Liam, I said softly, we need to talk while I'm recovering. These past few days have made me realize how I've been hiding in the shadows of others. I've been complacent. Can we go on our first actual date once I'm better? Or is it too late for us? Liam's eyes sparkled with a mixture of amusement and affection. Took you long enough, you old fool, she said with a smile before kissing me tenderly. I'm texting our kids to let them know we're officially a couple and working things out. Feeling a sense of relief, I texted Olivia to thank her and check on her and Aiden's well-being. Olivia responded quickly, Mom didn't know. She's taking it hard and won't be back tonight. I'll keep you updated. Let Aiden know. Liam and I then went up to Aiden's room. We introduced Liam as my girlfriend and shared the updates. Aiden was touched and relieved. Just then, my sister Sophia arrived. I had to come, Sophia said, looking around. Liam, what are you doing here? Before Liam could respond, Sophia's eyes widened as she put the pieces together. I see it now, she said. I think I understand. He finally clued in, didn't he? Sophia said with a knowing smile. Took him long enough. Aiden, this is your Aunt Sophia, and the man entering is your Uncle Mia, Sophia's husband, I introduced, as I tried to ease the tension in the room. You'll soon learn we speak our minds, whether you like it or not. I excused myself and went to the nurse's station, sending a quick text to Olivia to ask about Aiden's pizza preferences. She replied promptly, Aiden likes everything except anchovies. I ordered 3 extra-large pizzas and 3 2-liter bottles of cola for quick delivery. I also called Dad, asking him to bring Mom up in about 30 minutes for a pizza party. We bent the hospital's no-eating rule in our enthusiasm. The head nurse came by to calm us down but ended up leaving with a slice of pizza herself. Later, she stopped me and said, "Your actions have lifted the spirits of the whole floor. I can't thank you enough." At 4 a.m., they took me and Mom to prepare for the operation. We supported each other through the process until we were wheeled into the operating room. I stayed awake as long as I could before the anesthesia took effect. When I awoke, the surgery was complete. Now, it was a waiting game, filled with hope and prayers. Dr. Harris informed everyone that the bone marrow transfer went smoothly, but it would take a few hours to see if it took. It did. Most of the family started preparing to go home, relieved but exhausted. "Liam," I said with a chuckle, "you're the worst patient ever, but I'm not sick." "Yeah, well, you're like a bull in a china shop, impatient, unruly, and a bit miserable. Keep it up and you'll get a bad reputation," Liam teased, her eyes twinkling. She then updated me on my mother's progress. Once she was sure I was stable, Liam handed me my phone back. The first texts I saw were from her kids, both asking, "When does she get her engagement ring, Dad? When do we meet our new sisters?" "Liam, your kids are really smart," I said, showing her the phone. "I told them I was coming to Oswego to watch over you." After the operation, the kids had a lot of questions, and the whole story came out. They weren't surprised. They said, "Mom, he's always treated us like his own. Most of our friends wish their dads were like him. We've always seen him as our dad." Liam read the messages and looked at me with tears in her eyes. "I guess we'll have a short engagement," I said with a smile. "Have you heard from the twins?" I asked. "Olivia and her mother are with Aiden. She's doing well considering everything. Even though she's still medicated, she's asking a lot of questions," Liam said. "Olivia told her about the pizza party. Aiden can't get over how much she looks like her aunt and grandmother. She's excited for a girls' day out with them once she recovers." "Find me my pants," I said. "I want to see her myself and then check on Mom." The nurses tried to stop me, saying it was too soon after surgery, but I insisted. Liam and I went to Aiden's room, holding hands. To my relief, my pain was manageable, and I noticed Aiden's improvement immediately. Her complexion was better, and the sparkle in her eyes almost made me cry. "Who are Isabella and Benjamin Gallagher?" Olivia asked. "My children, ages 13 and 11. "Why?" Liam replied. "I got a Facebook friend request from them this morning." "So did Aiden," Olivia said. "You both need to read what they sent me." I handed my phone to Olivia. She read the message, smiled, and passed the phone to Aiden. "I want this back to add their phone numbers to my contacts," I said. Emma then asked if she could speak with me privately, so we went to the waiting room. "Ethan, I had a long talk with my mother last night," Emma began. "She admitted she remembered Dad's hatred towards you, but never expected this level of betrayal. My daughters want to finish the school year here and then live with you. They want their last name changed to yours and feel what Noah and I did is unforgivable. I can't argue with them. They made it clear they'll go to court if I refuse. They no longer trust me, and I can't blame them. Will you let them come? You know my family. They wouldn't let me refuse no matter how I felt. I'll gladly take them. So will Liam. We'll just need a bigger place," I replied. "I'll drop the suit against you if you agree to joint custody. The suit will still go forward against the rest of your family. The twins are old enough to decide the rest," I added. Emma agreed to joint custody, and I offered to pay for their name change, but she declined. We walked back into Aiden's room together. The girls watched us intently. "Liam, it looks like we're going to need at least a 6-bedroom house," I said. Liam smiled, and the girls screamed with delight. Emma said, "Girls, your father and I agree. You get your wishes if Liam agrees. I'll call the lawyer tomorrow to start the legal process for your name change." "Ethan," Liam asked, "are you ready for this? A house with teenage kids." "No one is ever ready, but we'll adapt. I'm just getting used to the idea of 2 carrying my name," I said. "Make that 4, Liam said, smiling. "Tam and Tim want you to adopt them. They're already signing their names as Roberts. Call Alexander White's firm to start the paperwork, then text the kids to let them know our plans. Let's find out which area has the best schools so we know where to look for our new home," Liam said. Olivia picked up her phone, opened her contacts, and made a call on speaker. "Hello?" Isabella's voice came through. "Who are you and what do you want?" Isabella asked. "This is Olivia, your soon-to-be older sister. Is Benjamin with you?" Olivia explained. "Can you prove it?" Isabella asked skeptically. "Because I can't," she added. "Dad taught us not to take calls or messages from unknown sources without proof," Isabella said. Olivia chuckled and said, "I guess we've got some work to do to convince you." "Seriously, are you scamming me?" Isabella's voice was laced with skepticism. "Isabella, Ethan and I are getting married," Liam said calmly. "You were speaking with Ethan's daughter, Olivia. We're all going to be Roberts. Aiden and I are changing our last names, and Ethan and I have started the process for him to adopt you both and change your names to Roberts too," Olivia added. "Sweet. Let Dad know it's about time. How is Aiden?" Benjamin responded eagerly. "We've been waiting to hear." Liam and I exchanged a glance, feeling the weight of this new family dynamic beginning to take shape. She squeezed my hand in silent support. "I'm improving," Aiden said with a hopeful tone. "So far, so good. I'll text you both so you can add my number." "Aiden and Olivia, our dad is the only father we've known," Benjamin said. "Our biological dad was gone before we ever knew him. Dad has been better than any of our friends' parents. Mom's been in love with him for a long time. When we come together, we need to accept that we're all siblings, nothing more, nothing less." Isabella and Benjamin were resolute. "Isabella and I won't let anything come between us," Benjamin said firmly. Liam, with tears welling up in her eyes, looked at me with gratitude. "They're showing your morals and values. You should be proud they've embraced them." I felt a surge of emotion. We said our goodbyes for now and headed to see my mom. Dad was with her, his presence a comforting surprise. Dad noticed the way Liam looked at me and understood something significant was happening. "Mom," I said, "you're up and about already. How is Aiden?" "Her complexion is improving, and her spirits are high," Mom replied. "It's promising, but we'll need to wait a bit longer. We need to have a serious discussion if you both have the time," I said. "We're not going anywhere," Dad replied, ready for the conversation. "Aiden and Olivia will be moving in with me after the school year," I said. "They'll be changing their last names to ours." Emma agreed to joint custody and the name change. It was the twins' idea. "That's wonderful," my parents said in unison, their support clear. "That's not all," Liam continued. "Your son has decided to marry me. Charlotte, are you ready to help plan a wedding?" Mom's eyes filled with tears, and Dad's face broke into a wide smile. Their approval was unspoken but evident. "I will be adopting Isabella and Benjamin, and they will take my last name," I added. "Liam and I will also start house hunting as soon as we get back." "What made you change your mind?" Dad asked, genuinely curious. "We all knew how you both felt about each other. I've been trying to get your mother's approval to knock some sense into you." "Earl Roberts, behave yourself," Mom said with a chuckle. "You're not at the yard selling a car." "Liam, have you thought about your wedding plans?" Mom asked. "We haven't discussed it much, but since we're blending 3 families, it should be a family affair," Liam said. "Sophia can be my maid of honor, Leopold's best man, his brothers-in-law as ushers, Aiden and Olivia as bridesmaids, Isabella as the flower girl, and Benjamin as the ring bearer." "Dad, will you walk me down the aisle with my father?" Liam asked, a playful glint in her eye. "Depends on who's footing the bill and if the 19th hole is stocked with Jack Daniels," Dad said with a laugh. "What do you think, Ethan?" Liam asked. "It sounds perfect. It will bring us all together." "If that's what you want, let's do it," I said. "Should we invite Emma?" I asked, hesitantly. Both my parents shook their heads firmly. "No," they said in unison. "Mom, Dad, in the coming weeks, the media will reveal a lot," I said. "I'm suing the federal government, Emma's parents, and her husband. I believe Emma was as much a victim as I was. I paid the price years ago, and now Emma is paying in ways we can only imagine. She feels she's lost her daughters forever. I think inviting her might help the twins establish a new relationship and move forward," I added. Liam and my parents looked at me with a mix of admiration and surprise. "Where did that wisdom come from?" Dad asked, clearly impressed. These last few days have taught me a lot, I said, holding Liam's hand. Olivia's arrival has given me a new perspective on life. We returned to my room, and I quickly fell asleep, drained from the surgery. Liam stayed by my side, watching the news. Henry Taylor and Noah Smith had been arrested for lying to the FBI, and the person behind the contract on my life had turned state's evidence. My lawyer released details of my firing from the FBI, prompting an internal review. When I woke up, Liam filled me in. Dr. Harris informed us that my mother and I would be released the next day. You'll need follow-ups and to have your stitches removed, he said. Aiden is doing better than expected. The big question is how she'll respond as she's weaned off her meds. We spoke with my parents, who decided to stay in the city until Aiden was well on her way to recovery. They would fly back with us on the private plane. Dad booked a room at the same hotel as Liam, and the bus driver was instructed to head back. In the days that followed, the media exposed the deceit, backstabbing, and political maneuvering that had ruined my marriage and career. They spent a day dissecting how Emma's father had manipulated her into believing the lies and rumors. Emma was scrutinized publicly. Liam and I were on our way to visit Aiden one last time before heading home. Dr. Harris proudly announced that Aiden was on the road to a full recovery. In a stroke of good fortune, the security release my publisher and I had been waiting for was granted. Over 1 million hard copies of my book would be released within 2 weeks. I had 2 first editions delivered overnight. After signing them, Liam wrapped them, and we hid them in a shopping bag. We ensured Olivia would be present when we entered Aiden's room. Your dad and I have set the wedding date for the first weekend in August, Liam said. Aunt Sophia will be my maid of honor. I was wondering if you two would be my bridesmaids. Aiden's eyes sparkled with excitement. Absolutely, she said. Liam, when I first walked into Dad's office, I was terrified. You recognized me immediately and said, "You're Emma's daughter." That stunned me. You accepted me from day one. I would be honored to be in your wedding party if I can call you Mom. I watched with a warm heart as Aiden, Olivia, and Liam embraced. It was truly touching to see Aiden's joy as she leapt out of bed, eager to celebrate her recovery. Once things had settled down, I took out the gifts I'd brought and handed each of them a signed first edition of my latest book. The message inside read, "To one of the 2 prettiest ladies who call me Dad, with love, Samuel Lee or Ethan Earl Roberts." Aiden's face lit up with pure delight when she unwrapped her copy. The book, my largest yet at over 600 pages, was a tangible piece of my heart. Her eyes sparkled with pride as she read the note, and then tears began to flow. "Dad, you've already done so much for me. I didn't need this," she sobbed, rushing into my arms. "Before you came into my life, the hospital staff said I had only a few days left. Olivia knew it too. I don't know why she went into the attic, but I'm so glad she did because it brought us you." She held me tightly, and Olivia watched us for a moment, her own eyes misty. "Dad, you should know that Dr. Harris believes if Aiden had only received 1 transplant, it wouldn't have worked." The double transplant shocked her body into responding. "In the last 6 days, she's gained 10 pounds, Olivia explained. "I didn't know if you'd come, but you didn't hesitate. You brought a whole tribe," Olivia added. "Thanks to the family, I'm getting my best friend back. How's your mom holding up?" I asked, hoping to shift the conversation to a lighter note. "She's filed for divorce and is going to therapy to deal with a lifetime of lies," Aiden said. "She now understands what you went through and is deeply ashamed. She says only someone who has experienced it can truly understand that it's a living hell. Her work and friends are her support now. Mom is strong and will get through this. The key will be getting her to trust again. Right now, she doesn't know who or what to believe." Olivia nodded in agreement. Even with family support, regaining trust can take years. It requires an unexpected act of faith. For me, it was Olivia walking through my office door. "Thank God you did," I said, looking at Olivia with gratitude. Liam added with a touch of humor, "Ethan had me believing I'd die an old maid waiting for him. Now, girls, stand by your father so I can take a few photos. The best one will be an 8x10 for his desk," Liam said with a smile. When we stepped off the plane, we were greeted by Liam's parents and children. The kids' excitement was infectious, nearly knocking me over as they rushed to welcome us. I noticed how Benjamin would now have 2 older sisters and 1 younger, just like me. Isabella embraced my mom and said, "I'm glad you're becoming my grandmother." I reflected on how swiftly my life was changing, filled with unexpected blessings. Liam and I decided to delay our pre-Olivia plans until after the wedding. Knowing that Liam understood our needs, I let her handle finding a new home. This allowed me to focus on writing my first fiction book. My previous works had exposed corruption and cover-ups, but this new project was a different kind of challenge. We stayed in touch with the twins, and Liam found a beautiful 20-acre property with a barn that needed some repairs. Aiden was improving steadily and had returned to school part-time. We had a firm design our new home with steel and brick, including an outdoor kitchen, a large patio, a pool, and a 4-bay garage. With Liam reducing her office hours, I was able to work more closely with an editor from my publisher. I ended up writing over 300 pages, and my first novel was published under my real name. Emma used my lawyer to finalize her divorce from Noah, securing alimony and educational support. My own cases were in mediation, and her family seemed to be losing the will to fight. Isabella, Benjamin, Liam, and I eagerly awaited the twins' arrival after their final school day. When Benjamin saw them driving up the new driveway, we all went outside to greet them. As they stepped out of the Explorer, I marveled at how Aiden's recovery had been so remarkable that she was nearly indistinguishable from Olivia. Liam whispered, "We'll figure it out." Benjamin, ever the big brother, carried their luggage as Liam proudly showed off the house. In my office, 3 copies of my latest book, Unexpected Blessings, sat prominently on my desk. It was a fictionalized story of our lives, a tribute to the incredible journey we'd all been on together.